Hey, we are live. It took me way too long to remember how to get to my Steam key. So that's that. Uh, got to make sure my things are all sent out. And we'll get started playing Citizen Sleeper. That always takes a bit to post. Okay. Yeah. I never played this game before. I've seen, just screenshots of it. So I thought I should play it. It looked interesting. I have no idea what this game is about. Alright. An operator works with drones, high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. A machinist repairs modified automated systems using industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Trying to figure out what class. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Is this working right for me? Trying to have my stream open in my phone. And I have it earbutted. Okay. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Okay. So my audio sounds good from me reading that. What should I pick? Extractor sounds cool. I'm a little, resource goblin. I love to pilfer, as expected. Stream manager, pull that up on my phone. There we go. I also like ink characters. That sounds fun. And builders. I don't know. I would play all three of these classes. I do not have dice around. Whatever. Oh wait, yeah, I do. I'm gonna roll for it. Wait for extra time for people to join, I guess. Just need a d6. Alright. Just gonna go by 2 spaces. 1, so I guess we're playing Machinist. Unknown, where are you? First thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting, minor, almost imperceivable, but always present. It's at its worst when waking. When yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person. To being a body that is indisputably yours. Think of body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood swelling from a flesh wound, the friction at a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't feel one from another. The cold slips in, beyond and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful of the dulled nature of this new body. Given your current circumstances, the walls of the container feel immediately present. Cold hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered from the brainial quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan or others? The plan. Arthur, we need a plan. You must remember that it isn't a good plan. But then your options were limited, and once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible. It was either the plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft. Drift away into the chaos. Slip into cargo processing. Seal yourselves into containers. Then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point, only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim, heartless rock. Even in the airless hold of the freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. God, this is gonna be a lot of reading. Wait for the cold. That's all there is now. It's been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You're dulled aware of your damage to your legs. Dully aware. Your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body still needs to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing of that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility beginning to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoiling to a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes, the cold creep furthers in. You feel something. Warmth, not true warmth, the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor, sound too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering as loud as your body ducks, your hearing to protect its sensor. Then light, cold, white as the cold, softer and softer until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Oh, okay. What? Cryo, cryptocurrency stored in airwall sticks of memory known as chits. Okay. That's cool art. I'm also decided to play this game because the art's real cool in it, so yeah. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you out of the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swallowed in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare into the ornately carved elements of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with the fogged eye, you hear a voice. "So, sleeper, you all thawed yet?" Almost. Never seen one of your wow, I can't talk. Never seen one of you coming like this. New frames must have better perseverance in Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, strutted in makeshift tech. His headset with its glinting eye, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbolic symbiotically linked drones perches, its iris and eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Oh wow, the dyslexia is gonna come in hard during this. Yeah, excuse me. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, he seems lost in memory for a moment. Perhaps he is just figuring out what to do with you. Uh, what happened to them? He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation, and I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you're just software, a rogue emulation, illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor of your feet, as you as you padded into the sleeper cells, the promises of life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You're an offshoot of a copy. Oh, a copy, not of a. What you don't know is what's ahead. At least that's the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who make it. Wait. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect their property, but they can't keep hold of you. When then, no one can. Dyslexia. You remember that too, or at least the removers. Wow! Or at least the rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are the lucky ones. Dragus glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station, you'll see soon enough. Dragus impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freighter container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Alright, you head up there. You look like you need some rest. And with Drago stalks back into the Rex, his drones already converging on rusting Hulk, plasma flashes, silhouettes. His spindly figure has returned to his work. Tutorial introduction. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head back to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to empty container location west of Sakano. Okay. End cycle. All cycles need to end. Rest to prepare for the next one. You wake. You wake, curled up in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake up in now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mire blanket close against the cold. You Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles away from anyone you knew. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life, I guess. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container: a blanket, the bedroll you slept in, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud on the stove, and it begins to boil water. The contents of the satchel smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restlessly come back to you, a ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly, a web of threads pulling at your skin, a constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and if it's long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade, you tidy away the stove as best as you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Wow, I feel that. Conditioning. Your conditioning represents your current state of artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but you can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover from your condition now that you've no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Okay. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions, and you must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Energy you also need to eat to survive. This represents your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If you become empty, you will be starving. When starving energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at double rate per cycle. Oof. Okay. Okay. Leave. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. A drone sits on his shoulders, his cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Not good. The drone chirps, Dragos nods. He knows that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright markets dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull in some tech, something with a bit more value, but mostly what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor, and obviously I'll slip you through shits of commission based on what you turn up. Cool, it's a good thing we did that engineer one. Probably make some cool stuff to sell. These, he pulls out a handful of small metal bars, air-walled cryo, isolated from the market, is what we use for trade out here. He stuffs them back in his pocket. He shuffles to his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best moving on as quick as you can and sleep as well. He trails off. But thing being the way that you are for me at wait, be but things being the way that they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need help. Things are a little tight. That's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you feel like when you're. Just look. Wow, I keep twisting my tongue. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. I will. He nods distractedly, turns, and walks away, the drunk hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Look like it's time to get to work. Excuse me. Character sheet. Ooh. Okay. I do not know quite what that is. Time to do scrapping. Actions are primary way you interact in the world since the sleeper. To perform action, include drag action dice. Okay. Critical actions can only be performed once. Either safe, risky, or danger. Okay. Fuck yeah, hull dissection! Actions often progress clock. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragon's Dex, are cycle locks. These clocks tick themselves once every cycle and can be completed without player input. Any active cycle clocks can be displayed in that. Okay. Wait, tutorial drives, navigation, survive, find it. Oh no, get track drives. Okay. Why did it scare me like that? Okay. Okay, that's why. Come on, let's roll for it. All right. All right, we're almost done with that. Cool. Would I be able to find a doctor if I... Wait, what's this? Just reading through these. Gonna maybe chill on reading everything a little bit. Still dock plans. What? Okay. So tomorrow I think we're gonna explore the market. Oh no. This time you don't wake up instead of the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring around you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across the colorless void, then the connection begins to establish itself, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving to millions of distributed nodes. They connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station. The web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect it. Pulse through it. Found loops and paths under and approach and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. But the flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try and touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden everything shuts off. You come back trembling to this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there. The stations played across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it's gone. Ruh-roh, I need food. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the opening apartment door. You keep your head down, your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful of the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place. But now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang force at the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hat block, they all have made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, your body will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle toward the front of the queue. You try and find something to distract yourself. Evens or odds? I kinda want both. Evens. The Enforcer is looking down the corridor, and you dare to glance at him. His presence is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes, like mercury teardrops. Some subsidiary sense input or of aesthetic markers. You aren't so sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. For a few moments, that figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next ongoing Tory show. The Enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting and the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full bright of bright market sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. And for a moment, you're transfixed by this motion. Come, sis, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turning away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make a way across the room. That's a cool outfit. The character art in this game is fantastic. I love every single character shown so far. The 5 total. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expressive and confusing flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hands. They hold it to your eye. Please remain still. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on this station? They ask. The scanner still to your eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say, without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNR doesn't like to see its property technology let loose. Proprietary technology to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which Arising ARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes. Good, that may help. You swap to your other arm, running some of the metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you're unsure if they meant for the cool touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and Arising ARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and Fang's silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I'm... Excuse me. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see in the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Tori show outside. You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in Lodin. They gave me his space to work. Run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers. Tend to their implants, sew up their wounds, they look away. But Yatagan, his connection smugglers, and from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporation Zong Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Saving says on their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Thank you. Sabine walks away from the window, their face dampened by the shadows of passing drones. Let's see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. Then you reach the lower levels of the market. You look back, up through the panels of the roof. You see if they can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off to the crowd. Okay, I need food. Okay. Street food vendor. Oh, this guy looks cool. That's dope as fuck. Memphis is busy. His broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus to a dented wok. His other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. I'm hungry. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with a bread salad and depositing it in black plastic trays. A sack of chips rattles in the apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. You join the queue. It's mostly made up of duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vest, grubby mons, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food in the eye and the best drink, comparing notes on bright micro dives. Their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn, and you shuffle into the front. Memphis speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. First try, it's free. Thank you. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burners like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. Yo, I want to try the spicy mushroom food. I know you sleepers, Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep and clear. A hard life, a lot of stores. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility in its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container. And the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell them that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of stinging fungus in your hand. Next time we talk, we can talk some more. He smiles, but next time you hay. He slams a heavy hand against a budding on the burner siding, shuts off the roars of the flame, and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alleyway, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearm, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pit marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna eat more. Hell yeah, I'm gonna get fungus, man. Okay. Fuck it, we ball. Dock Watcher, cool. Oh, not that one. Leave. Okay. What's this? Get a drink. Okay, noted. Dock terminal. Okay, I guess that's the end of the cycle for us. Alright, end cycle. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glitter lights like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clear, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, catches the shimmering light beneath the transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of the thread across the ring. Through these forms, you then leap into the void. You begin to understand these are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. I need to wet my whistle. Out of kombucha. Time for an energy drink. Probably the two best drinks to have when you have to read so much. Oh. You begin to understand. These are nodes of connection. Oh wait, I already did this. Focus on the nodes. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all of this flow, there's only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here. Only close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardings cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzles boxes. One leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the path and open the boxes. You look across the path, you look across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. With Fang, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you, you look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions as if they were tied around you. Fuck it first, because we are number one. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching even closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it as this time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passes over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes, time is short. Oh, fun. Okay, something has changed inside of you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the Eye button at the top of the screen. Okay. Data actions allow you to extract data from networks of the Eye, but they work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match dice. Oh, okay. Fuck it. Yeah, we have it. Alright, data extracted. A cache of raw data from Hemorrhage software. Okay. I could do that one. Just trying to see what ones I should look out for. Okay. All dissection. Yeah. Get called out. Alright, you arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across the scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from the holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge, and it's been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Drago stands to the side, focused on the hull ship as it's slowed into the yard. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through its multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Drago's for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friend to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. Now what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Drago is visibly excited. I know I shouldn't. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, the lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching you wonder if you arrive in a similar fashion. Locked inside that container, the wreck of the Essing-R freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about the ship, you might be able to trace its path that led you to the yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winterlight. Let's do it. Fuck it, we ball! He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. Just testing my things again. Just trying to do audio checks. Make sure I'm still sounding all nice. Character upgrades. Oh, cool. Alright, I can self-repair, don't really need that. Interface. Yeah, I want to see potential boost and whatnot. That sounds cool. Thank you, hopeful. Just pausing it there. Everything sounds good. A lot better than the Stalker stream, I think. Starsec stabilizer. Okay. Fungus time. Hell yeah, I'm getting more fungus fan. Real funga heads over here. Funging about. Stranded mercenary. Oh, she looks cool. Hey, you want to earn a chit? Akihita? Ankita? Ankita, stands beside a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Make it two. She laughs, this goddamn station. She sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. Alright, come here then. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into two bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she angrily lashes the massive panels together. Everyone wants their cut. She strings up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and you look up and down. Or is it just that you all think I'm an easy mark? We all need to survive. She softens. I get it. I do. She shakes her head. But if I could just go one cycle without some jumped up grifter trying to take me for an idiot, I think that would be nice. She hoists one bunged up plating into her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn those chits. You struggle to shoulder these plates, but you do eventually. She gives you a look, ships this way, and she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores. Why are you doing this yourself? You mean why aren't I hiring those good folk? She nods back at the stevedores. I've paid half-inch enough. They are currently rinsing me for a morning. I can't vacate unless I can either fix up ambergris or sell it off as scrap. Ambergris, is that your ship? You catch on fast. She gives you another of her looks. She rapidly turns around, turns another corner as you trail behind her. She got cut up pretty bad in our last job and had to moor up for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core of our ship mine. So now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on your shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mine, with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Sorry to hear that. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. Got a ship mine tucked away on that frame of yours. For a moment, you weren't sure if she's serious. Oh. I just realized something. Thank you. Gotta change this. Problems. I did not realize I was still set to Stalker. Alright. Done. Wow, I'm a silly. Why is that making noise? Okay, there we go. Oh, is that? Alright. Now back on track now that my settings are actually correct and everything. Switching over to a thing. Okay, there we go. An hour in, and now my thing is actually correct. Alright, she swings her plates for her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She holds the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met here who's might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand pulling Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She throws you a couple of chits. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here. She calls back and the lock slams shut. Oh yeah. Drive discovered. Excuse me. I don't like how I'm being hunted. Oh. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up. Turn. Oh, they also look cool. I love them. Fang is coming down the corridors towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hang around, just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard getting a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it that Erland said? The eye opens for us all? Nice idea, but well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. You pass together into the main hallway, Havenage. We are all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry, I'm with the systems. Systems? Everything that I runs on. He runs a hand along the passage wall. The place is a ruin, but systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least we try to. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around, and well, I know a little about you, sleepers. I have a little proposition for you, he glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare. Think when you are settled up, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. It's what they say is true about you sleepers. Well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand to farewell. Okay. So, there was something here that required a 1. Yes. Five paths, extract data. I'm pogging a cryptic key. As you drip back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread, stirring tight around you, it tethers you in place. eyes. A taste, the voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close to your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf, entity unknown, and insurgent processing. Fuck the police. Oh! You struggle against the threat as it's hiding in response. A glittering garrote. Please hold. The thread around you thickens around until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It's blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on its lithe legs. Though there is no ground to pace on, entity identification, origin, serial cadence, the figure faces you unexpectedly. I don't understand. Sentence questionable. The figure's strange head rotates, brackish signature of and not of attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head, thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop. The figure holds its thread, its head's twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal rights to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect, you're an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dog. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dog? An entity hides its rotunda. You're its puppet. Hunter extends its razor-edged threads. It will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out at with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a spike of interference leaping out like a tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Well. Okay. Don't have access to that. Encrypted key. Keynote. Okay. Fire pass. Encrypted key. Gate. Encrypted key. Hammond cipher. I have data. Keynote. Agent. Keynote. Another agent. What do you think so? Hey, Haven Motors broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open for data extraction. Okay. One more day and we'll be able to get medication. And something will happen in the dock. Probably not gonna make money, but this will do me good. Yeah, welcome, Elder. Ship shape. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think we're gonna turbo with Drago's storyline next sleep. Two. Hopefully I get better dice. Come on, baby! Mama need a new pair of shoes. Oh my god. Oh, thank you. Okay. First medicine. Matlock. First thing you see, turn the light off. Interior shows implants like a cat's eyes. In the dark of the corridor, he nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with the case opening in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separating from by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating in the warm light. I have no idea how Yatagan. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really appears to be. I don't care. Fuck it. We ball. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. Alright. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from injecting the unfamiliar part of itself. Rejecting, not injecting me. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign materials and therefore must be eliminated. Stabling holds up a vial that would be the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with a new protein chain, which acts as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Wow, that's fucked. Passcodes. In very basic terms, yes, they sigh. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away, at least if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin to ready the syringe, but I'll start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. She cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses the syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as any sign might merge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection with a little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into the darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noise like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of the slate. Awake? Yes. The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside your bed. I don't know how Yagung acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. She looks troubled, distracted. You should rest more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients, sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence follows the room, and they return to the glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have been moved, shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. Manage to get on your feet, wander about the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Torricio stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Alright. Stable, cool. Fungus time. Oh yeah. Sleeper, Fang catches her attention as you approach, the Heaven building leaning against the bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach, easier to come in this way, security, all that. He gives you a look, you know. He slams a button, and the back bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to the generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a choir of hums, and the blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans in the server stack and gestures around. You like it? It's incredible. It reminds me of Serial Experiments Lane. Uh, he smiles wildly. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack, which beeps with response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up in the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. Steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of the systems are built from the original station. AE1. I don't know what that symbol is. So I'm just gonna go for AE1. The one that Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we've never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality, but this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate organs. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back and to fit you among the flickering machines humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All those systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you. As you do, they seem to flicker, realign to follow your gaze. Fang notices too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal. When you are on the run, though, they are tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to the time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice down to a hum. Even in Haven, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back to those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past. I'll see what I can do about your tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, sleeper? I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulders. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal slab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depth station. Slap that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull all kinds of secrets from nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use the emulated mind of yours to see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions badge. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring me. I know you need it. He slams the door to the button gun. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. King's Bay. I should have stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's a cipher, not data. Okay. Damn. Okay. I believe I have something. Have gate access. I already forgot the little things. I need some tunes. Ah, damn. I could have gotten that one. Okay. So I need a 1, 2, 4, and 3. Okay. That's the end of that day. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Oh, that's a lot of ones. Okay. So, I'm gonna use these ones to get as many of these notes as I can. Because I'm scared to use them on actions. Requires a 2. Data skim from hardware. How about this one? Is this one too? I feel like I got all the ones. I could go for that, but I also want to work on the ship. Let's go. All right. Ooh. Kind of want the history more than anything. It's safe, it shouldn't do anything. Okay, cool. I need a safe. Ooh, I can sell scrap. Trust trader. Fungus fan. I'm a fan of the fungo. Emphis? Sleeper! Emphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushroom into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something into a plastic bottle into a wok. Excuse me? But one of yours, he looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphis. You look at Emphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with spice. Tell a ghost story. To start simple, you tell Emphis about the routines and structure of life as a sleeper, the Essing ARP assignments, the freezing cold transport shuttles, the endless, tedious days of work. You make it almost sound normal, as if you were also struggling with your new bodies, your fractured minds, your harrowing dispersonalization. This is for effect. Then you explain one assignment, a scrap detailing facility left to your left for hundreds of cycles. The idea, you tell Emphis, was to rip the place to pieces, turn it all to scrap and load it into freighters. Most of it was machine work, but they send a couple of you down deep into the facility on a special order to find the mainframe and disconnect it. You leave a dramatic pause for emphasis' sake. You lean in a little, so the smoke of cooking fills your nostrils, and you tell him the way the place moved, the way it shifted, changed in front of you. The way corridors twisted and pulsed like intestines, and at the rotting heart of it all, you tell him what you found. The empty suit from which erupted a massive metal like a tree, like a forest. Great trunks of ribbed steel exploding from the faceplate, buttresses of silicon stretching up into the shadows. And a mainframe that screamed when you got it out. Emphas finishes cooking, squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you've been telling your story. Emphas passes you the meal he's cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the empty markets, but my time is done for today, and I don't want to keep you longer, so I'll make you a proposal. He gestures into the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind the stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think. A couple cycles ago, they said that across the gap in the Craneway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard of this? Nope. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins to ugh, blah 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 blah. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot go cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish, tell it. Be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Ephes. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Ephes slides his walk away and straightens up. I'll prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your fortune. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stores of food. You think a trade that seems more than fair. Wait, so cross where? I do need to get a vial stabilizer. I also need to explore this more. I like one more thing for it. Just dumping into those. Okay. Looks like I'm probably gonna break that thing down before I get data out of it, which kind of sucks. Should only need two. Yeah, only gonna need a two after this one. The hunter is probably gonna come for me after this. Ugh. A glimmer in the darkness catches your eye as the orb of the hunter's head appears in the distance, looking at you. Hide. You slip down into a ghostly structure of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as the data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye closer now, that roving orb, wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jump once, twice, and think it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you, in that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, become frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by the whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. come the scream from beyond, but you're already gliding away back to the anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. I did not earn any money. But I do got these. Okay. I don't need to top off food at the moment. I'm gonna see how long I can go so I can conserve money. I don't have a 2. I want that data, damn it. Doug Dimma data. Squeeze into the office at the entrance of the yard. You lay out everything you have at your, the winter light. Cannot talk ever. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lie out everything you have on your winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow at Drago's old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrolled annotations. A set of drone scans fill out the small terminal with the spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay, a crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them, synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. This is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at the stacked heat maps of the remains of the winter light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of color marking the approximate damage of the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach, a well-documented failure likely brought by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rows of paper rows of the reactor. You are looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that may be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint size and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You are looking at it because it is troubling you. Look at the slate. Your attempts at reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consist of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. Here, I gotta itch my ear real quick, it's really bugging me. Okay, sorry about that. There was a one off-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations. The new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first. They're where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded and disguised the change. But they are there. View the printout. A plan list shows registration history of winter light. The gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. The first registration was a couple thousand cycles ago, on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship. On the one of the rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often looked on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winterlight got a little rest. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained, a reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry, a suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winterlight, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you are able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winterlight had a separate system, one tucked away in one of the hidden compartments, armored, air-walled. The list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system. Its partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship mind ROMs, shimmer, cryochain codes, and the main final entry, passenger, sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it is like arriving here in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had the sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winterlight, a smuggler's ship, if you ever saw one, to extract them from Essingarb? Like you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winterlight's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in the compartment, a parting gift from Essingarb. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. Oh, hell yeah! A ship mine fragment, cool. The thought still bothers you, though. Two ships carried sleepers coming into the same yard, one after another. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between the datasets. On the terminal thinking, you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in, someone who had entered the Winterlight with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Drago's standing in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk, faster than you realize he could move. You're running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing through his implants. Are you hiding something? Hiding something? I'm hiding you, goddammit. And what are you doing for me, digging around in my business? He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. The ship had a sleeper in it. Drago freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal at the list. He shakes his head. So what? Are all of you trying to escape? You're lucky You are lucky it was he that made it out alive, not them. He folds his arm indignantly. Drago seems to steady himself and then turns back to you. The heat map of the reactor failure reflected in the headset's glassy eye. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over his words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on. I turned you in, but not me, no. I appreciate that, but don't. He shakes his head. I'm not discussing my business with you. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you, but you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this deception you have with the ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you are after. Besides, you can't work here anymore. Oh. I need the work. There's plenty of work to be had in the eye. Salvagers need offloads in the rotunda, and Yatagan are always looking for crew. I'm not the only show in town. Drago reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls over the both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. Made it out, sleeper. That means you have to move on. someone killed the ship and its crew, and you want to meet them? He shakes his head. We're done here. And in the dark, Drago's headlight glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe Thang you could understand. He would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers his notes, stuffing them into his pocket and his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset, his expression as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then back out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little bit more time. As you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the Winterlight, and whether or not the person will come for you. Nice. So I think what I'm gonna do is, once I get halfway to like starving to death, more or less, I'm going to pop the stabilizer. That sucks. I'm jobless. I don't want to lose money. I'll leave. There's nothing there. The ambergris, can I do anything? I don't want to risk it. Alright. Hell yeah! Sealed dock. Swallow docking bay. Unlock maglock. I can do that. Start action. Start action. Encryption key. Alright. Mysterious machine. That looks cool. I like the little faces on it. That's adorable. As you slip inside the sealed lock, a pulsating light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing, the rusting plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shapes, settled into an alcove in its side of the dock. A kind of upright cabinet, it is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts, necessary for a regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer listed as Neovend, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which chirpingly saying the name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezing by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. Fuck it, we've all. Reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo monitors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovend. Entity, they hiss, speak with me. Who's there? There's a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swelling or intake of breath. Before the machine speaks again, I have a need for you. You have a need for me. That squeal comes again. Then you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in? No. The Hunter protocol. They taste you, your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. I keep burping, excuse me. You close your eyes, and then the skeleton of the station turns to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable, move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulation seeks your target. Adaptable? Yes. You can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software. Neovend whines. But you cannot hide there. Hunter is there. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also, hiding the machine. You'll look at the red vending machine, an unusual hiding place for sure. Can't encounter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swelling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station. Ghostly threads. The cloud points along the rim glow in a deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nest, he explains. Neovend. Master. Oh, explains Neovend. I don't know why he emphasized that so hard. Masters are gone, but continues hunt, bringing this data, raid its nest. Why can't you? Hunter will find me. Think Killer will come. The machine trembles with effort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. Bring offerings. Save self. Neovent says pointedly. Mutual need means friends. They conclude, tired of this conversation. The whirling amplifies, something suddenly drops. As mechanisms with the machine click back into place, the glow fades, and then you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Alright. This would be really useful. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking. That's really good. Okay. Okay, wait. Where do I get these then? Well, firstly I need to eat. The bar has cheap food. Get drunk. Let's find out. Ooh. Alright. I am not looking forward to, this. that's a good set. Alright. So. Got that. Got the last of that data. Hunter Nest. Dam. Hunter Nest. Dam. 1 and 2. Is this 1 and 3? 2. Okay, I need 2 1s. I mean, no, 2 2s and a 1. God, I just need 2s and 1s. Okay, where's my dude? Where's my boy? My beautiful baby boy! Scoping systems, cool. Bang. You enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms. I don't know what that word means. Nope. I'm seeing eyes of the station's digital ghost. Shitheads, Fate's voice rings behind this empty stack, followed by a hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaking? Sleeper. Fang's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I have been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between running stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables and blankets under the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of the set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor on his side, glowing with a pale list of information. He'll lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The table seems to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, IDs, all the markers of institutional records. People. People, yes, but who's people? Solheim? Bingo, he taps at the terminal. I pulled the old data you brought in, all employees of the Eye's original owners, and he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. His name reads Harding Hurst. Who's Harding? That, says Fang, gives you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags his stool out from beside him and motions for you to sit. There's just happens to be a Harding Hurst in Havenge. He waits for our action in Havenge. That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Harding worked for the station as a Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Harding was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out were to hook into the system that outsourced all the risk. He kept the profit. Good old Harding shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of work they did went straight back to Solheim. You know this. I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard to the strings of code flickering by. I need some DT. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked in Solheim ships, they breathed Solheim air, and slept in Solheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks, his hands and fists on the terminal's edge, and the work that paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out from the belt, Simon took the cut. This was a company in town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty, disposable. This guy, stabbing at Harding once again with his finger, strategized all of that. Did the sums, and then somehow thousands and thousands of cycles later is still going, still here, crawling the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. Surely it can't be him. Feng relaxes a little. Who knows? He turns to you and smiles. So are we going to find out? So we are going to find out. Harding is now a big shot in the shipyards. Just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Feng brings out the map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy, it is not. Harding happens to float to the top. Feng zooms out on the far yards. Feng grimaces. This thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone. From systems digging around their stuff, plus we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Feng holds up a thumbnail sauce drive. That's where this little creation mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any additional storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is the set of. Wow, I cannot talk. This one is set on the scent of Hardinghurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder, but you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Haverage cipher from a Haverage agent, they have sometimes carrying them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even have to go near their shipyards. What do you say? Yes, I already have some of that. Cool, free money. I knew it. I knew you'd be happy to catch the snake. And don't worry, once we nail this guy, I'll start work over at the tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. A Feng scratches at its chin. Anything the worm gets, I'll send back here to me. It'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotting core of it. You leave Feng digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try and imagine the eye as it once was. A vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast stolen-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems, looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets, is an idea you're intimately familiar with. You think Harding's still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Talking so much. I think I have I'm gonna go for 2.5 hours on this. If I continue streaming, if I end up doing that, I think I'm gonna switch to a different game. Because my voice is getting it. By ship mine fragment. Let's go! Oh, damn. Okay. So we have that going pretty decently. I should probably start with shipyard stuff soon, because I do have a bonus towards some of that. First, fungus time. Where do I get those caps? Okay. Alright, so that's good. I need money. Actually, wasn't one of these like a... No, I need 2s and 1s, damn. Alright, shipyard. Ooh. Hell yeah. Okay. Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Run. A strike across the back knocks you face down to the floor. I told you not to run, idiot. Ethan pulls you up. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he has terrible news. You got all the way out here, and then you stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That's a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You notice the handgun that he levels at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off of it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from his belt loop without taking his eyes off of you, making it to the eye though. That's pretty good. This place isn't as so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization. There's so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrist. Go easy. Make a break for it. You see a chance, the mummy's eyes leaves, and you watch the rings. You spin, knocking it away, and sprinting down the corridor. Think the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bolt hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings around your trembling wrist. Ethan nudges you to start walking to the ship and home. He whistles, going easy. You stumble down the corridors, your hands behind you, your mind racing. Who hired you? Your daddy's at Eris and Arp. They want you home for dinner. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to Essen Corp right away. That tracker of yours makes this too quick. I was hoping you put up more of a chase, you know, a running battle through the bright market maybe, or hold out at the low end. There's a few establishments I would have had enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk around in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That as an arm tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and you try and jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I've gotten myself thinking, what's the rush? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the circuit systems, and we're heading to the exit. He pauses, and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him. You run or leave or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you trying to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles, you come meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles, and you pay me my tab. I don't shoot you, he pauses. You don't pay my tab, he rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay then, that sounds to me like a deal. He stretches, you know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something at his belt and then rings release from your wrist. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the Compressor Club. Come see me there. He aims his handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you that that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off to the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? I'm gonna try and fucking murder him if I can. I'm gonna murder the shit out of that man. Okay, what now? What now? Oh god. Okay. Jorb, I need Jorb. Oh, damn. I need my money. Okay. Still, like, no money. I don't know why. Establish sortie takes several seconds. Okay, I'm going to have to do a bunch of salvage next sleep. I'd be really happy if this game gave me, like, my brain just stopped working for a second. I already forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, 2's on my dice, because holy hell. Come on, let's gamble! Hell yeah. I love gambling! I really wish I knew how much I was going to be getting. Hell yeah! Okay. Get all the hunter's nests immediately. Okay. Got all those. Get a nice fungus delight. Yeah. Yeah, let's go for this. Lemon Mina. From the walk. Okay, here I need a beverage. From the walkway of Sidereal Horizons looks impossibly vast, a landscape of plating and frames. All along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale, the industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. She was quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure in a little way down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He is thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting and loose, the torches of Sidereal Horizon flickering in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem, he leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out from the ship, and this is Mina. He adds to a smile. Hey, Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. She's a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You working on her then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing at the vast ship, or just admiring. He shifts Mina's weight to the other arm. Admiring. Understandable, he nods, gazing back at the side of her horizon. You look like her too, don't you, Mina? He jostles her a little. She's Mina's and my ticket out of this place, our escape vector, so to speak. Ship. You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a Heaven's contract on the Cedar Horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey through, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina. If it means landfall on a new world, he winks. Decades? It's a long trip. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Salus Foundation is sending thousands of people to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll be totally independent colonies. No surrogacy, no corporations. Sounds crazy. Could be, but you see another way out of here? The way we can build This way we can build a home somewhere with real gravity, real air, rain. He plays with Mina's hair absentmindedly. Rain, Mina. You love that, I think. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, she whispers. Food, pulling an exaggerated grumpy face. She glances furtively at you. She plays with a set of dog tags and with that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting, little meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you, and then you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the heavy crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can't do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into that official shipyard crew. Well, I'm working on it. He looks at you at the side rail horizon, as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches from the vast hall. We've got to hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That you aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me, she says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. Lev smiles and lifts Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We're just a couple of softies, and isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings on into his leg. Gotta feed, gotta go feed this little. Wow, I can't talk. Gotta go feed this one. He pats her back. Maybe see you on night shift, huh? He turns and they walk down the walkway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then for a moment later, Mina turns around and then stops. See you, robot. Her shout echoes down the walkway as she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Len. You watch them for a little bit before you turn back to the possible scale of the sidereal horizon. A ticket out. Ooh. And yes. I don't know. Will I possibly need that for this? Not sure. Okay. Sell it. I need the money. Oh, that's good money. Okay. Ooh, big hack day. Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you. Entity submit, the hunter's strange head bobs with your vision. Your ally, the sealed dock, cannot save you. In that globed head, you see while whirring strings of data, so many spinning that they threaten to tear through your thin skin and whip into the void around you. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze you. You lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with the Hunter for once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Well, I'm on it. Use B1. Yeah. gate access, okay. Rip that worm. Worm ripping. You know, we ripping worms out here. Okay, okay, that's not a thing yet. Have all three of these, so like, very big progress this cycle. Much progress, very big. Yovine. Neovent is thrumming with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder, if it fell over, would Neovent be able to pick it back up? Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neovent flashes sequences of mangled data compressing to sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived. Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocols to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. Station was surrounded by administrator intelligences, huge data banks of corporate material, but limited cognition, restricted by programming, cannot reach sentience. The machine tims a little. Sentience illegal, hunter and killer enforce law. Killer. The machine resets with a screech, which deepened the silence that follows. Fear Killer, part of Solheim Protocol team. Hunter and Killer, Hunter to find, Killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community, unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter, then Keller, then we hid. There are others? Or, no longer, a flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through this machine must be exhausting for Neovent. Found this vessel, could sever hard-lying, airwalked basic limited. Had to reduce memory to fit, amputate self, but survive. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You have to provide path to freedom. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try and map the fear and freedom into this space, but it seems impossible. Neovent interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry, data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter's obsessive. Hunter's beyond operational limits. Hunter's confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it into place, to invoke Killer to erase it. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on itself. Problem will solve itself. Will that work? The machine tims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens up again. Either way cannot maintain here any longer. Too long a machine cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind, designed to house intelligence, can imprint itself into ship mind, and you can carry with. The machine rocks. Will being safe in this location, they can find main nest of Hunter and link to Cloud. Where can I get ship mind? Build from fragments, supply, salvage. We cannot leave, so we cannot know. Damn, I should not have sold those two. But at the same time, it might save me. You can try and think places you could acquire the hardware. This is going to be easy. In ship mining, I can help us both. And Hunter, make room safe. We both will live free. The machine dims. Fine soon. Neovent adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you can think about all of the intelligence things shackled by the collapse, think hunted down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. Oh. Now, yeah. Okay. Should I? Fuck it, we all. Okay. Not doing that. Uh. Let's gamble. Damn. Ooh, damn. Uh. Assembly. Okay, let's try this. Oh, damn. Okay. Okay. First day of work. Did not go well. Ooh. Oh, God. I can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from along the bar. You look over to see him leaning across it in a pool of light, empty glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this place is packed. A lot of spacers mixing with the locals. Unusually, they run. Ethan spins a glass on the bar, or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. I'm done. Wrong, not even close. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes when he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? One round of drinks and we're even? Sleeper, come on. His hands come out, the rest of his body dangling from his chest holder. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs hard, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I think someone in your position might have a better idea of how this all works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with SMR, but didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. He closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? That you could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that nasty little body of yours and take it to a joyride, play human for a cycle or two? You don't understand. It's you, Sleeper, that doesn't understand. Some of us pay our debts, but it's all the harder because of idiots like you. Though I should thank you, Ethan nods, his head heavy, for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. If I knew catching sad little scabies like you was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Oh, I see. Toughening up here. He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up or thumbs down, downing folks. Must turn back to their drinks, no longer interested in this tired show. Ethan mutters insults as he walks back towards his bar. Ethan sits back down on his stool and then searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. The thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours, and it will always betray you. No matter what, you finds a glass and drowns its contents. So please go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another. He laughs, taps the bar um, for a finished drink. Look at yourself. Give it up, Sleeper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles to his head on the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. You turn on your heel and you're out of the cloying dark and the sweet stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Ooh. I'm going to get these agents because I can, and then food because my character needs it. I think I might need it also. I'm a little bit hungry. I only had one bowl of spaghetti, but I'm also starting to have trouble talking. I've had a sore throat this week, and I've been reading for 2.5 hours. More agents? Okay. Actually, I might not even have to eat here. I'm gonna help with the ship. Let's go! Hell yeah! Ankita is crouched in the computing core of the Ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. These shits are completely ruined. The core connectors, when they cut it, she holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship might they ripped won't even be unstable without replacing these. Won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws a bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. Who took it? She stands. If I knew, do you think I'd be waddling around in here rather than out there with my boot on their neck? She sighs. Yatagan, some spacer crew? No way to know, but they got in with one of my crew's Axis ships, so they either killed him, robbed him, or he was in on it. No good options. Ankita climbs out of the cooling well where the ship mine should be, the space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of the amber, though you could find a way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bundle tubes. What do we do now? She seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking between low conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually, you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There is no way around it. She shunts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mind. I can salvage one. I like your confidence, Sleeper. Maybe if you check the ore exchange or speak to some scrap dealers. She rubs her forehead. It seems I'm about to do something very stupid, but hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you a hard stare. Sleeper, you're alright. No crew, no friends. You're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you're putting to Amber, and I'm sure she would be too if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits. I'm a big stack of chits. You don't dare count them. Get me that ship mine, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. You won't. Look, just get out of here before I change my mind. You slip back into the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach out and hand to calm her. Time to find her a ship mind somehow. Okay. I should not have paid him immediately because would have given me more time, I think. One thing I know is that I need more energy soon. Okay. Outer's Gap. Okay. So it looks like I have several cycles till that happens. 4 for that. Okay. Okay, one more day. I feel like I keep saying that, but this game's really good. Ay, caramba. Okay, there's something that needed a 2, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Alright. I need 2 ship mines. I really should not have sold those fucking fragments. Oh my god. Bar time. The glass shatters on the steel bar beside you, and the taunt doesn't take long to follow. Hey, Haunt, the spacer calls across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs at his own lame joke. Playing human? Ignore him. You hunch a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scars bar's surface. A hand falls on your shoulder and you flinch away as the patent reassure. As, oh, oh god. But as you flinch away, it pats reassuringly. You're frozen in place. Out, the voice comes out from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright-eyed dark hair, a stare that could breach the wall and vent you all into the hard vacuum. She looks cool. I like her tattoos. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. Catch. You reach up with your hand and the catch shatters across your forearm, showing you in fragments. Owie. Through the hazel glass, a Gerlock vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the bar wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by other figures quickly to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch her arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto the stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared and fresh measure. Yeah, okay, I think I'm done after this speech thing as this day because oh my god, I can't talk. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto the stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared and a fresh measure of Girol is glugged out in front of you. The same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol and a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them and then turns into you. That was an ambitious catch, she smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. You don't feel the pain, only the sting of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Wash her. Tala works with the skill of someone who has picked out glass splinters from skin of a stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard, all of the time tapping the tweezer tips to the light rhythms that only she can follow. Tala smiles to herself. So you been on the eye long? Just arrived. I thought so. I've seen you here a couple of times. A splinter clinks the tin. Not everyone is like that idiot. We won't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you, maybe they're just curious. I don't know, but I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know that it's all been new. I know what it's like to be new in a place like this. Trust me. That's not what it said, but here we go. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need somewhere, you can always come here. I know the rations we've got aren't much, and the company is shillings limited, but if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar, and if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. Oh, hell yeah. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door and he's up in the Greenway, the cycle haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, sleeper, here. She slides the glass of Girol to you. This'll help. She stops her hand, still on the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Let's find out. You laughs, just don't sit here too long. I'd hate to see you become a real regular. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long is retelling how she threw a spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction. You instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the grill. The earthly fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out the sight of sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something old feels good. God. Okay. So, I'm more or less trying to earn money to be able to do the thing. I need like 200. She gave me 100 shits. So what I am assuming is that, what I am assuming is that it's gonna be like 100 shits to get all the stuff for the mind, or at least some of the parts. But I also need like stuff for more meds, and yes. Damn it. Oh, okay. Um, I really have not been able to get like more components, sadly. So I got kicked out of my original job, which sucks. Alright, final rest. Okay, no, I need to stop. Time's last autosave 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm probably gonna cut stream there. At a steady 3 viewers, I'm probably one of them. But thank you for watching me play through Sin Sleeper. I'm probably gonna continue this next time. At least once my throat feels better, because it's a real fun game. Here, let me get to that. But yeah, have a good one, and happy holidays. Hope you have a good one. Bye.